Hello everyone, my name is Legend Ronnie and this game is Rise of Kingdoms. Best 5 legendary marchers for your murder ball. Your first question probably is, what is a murder ball? So I'm definitely gonna detail and I'm definitely gonna explain what a murder ball is. This is something that you're basically already doing. You're already doing this in Ark of Osiris, in Osiris League. You're already doing this in KVK, Lost Kingdom, Light and Darkness, or wherever there is huge and large amount of field battles. So this is something that is already happening. But what I want to give you is the best 5 marchers for players that already have these 5 marchers. This is related to only legendary marchers, and once I'm gonna be done with this, if people are actually interested, I can definitely do this version with epics as well. There's plenty of epics to actually do this version as well of so-called murder ball. The reason I call it like this because this is something that I'm also already doing with my marchers, and this is something that we are already doing in the Alliance during KVK, Osiris League. We are already doing this. So the best definition of a murder ball is doing large amount of damage as fast as possible. So it has nothing to do with survivability on the battlefield. It has nothing to do with thinking about, oh my god, I'm gonna have a lot of severely wounded. No, this has nothing to do with that. So you don't care about cost effective. If you wanna go cost effective, then you should go infantry. If you go infantry, you have only defensive commanders, and that way is going cost effective, and that way you're having less severely wounded and you're doing more severely wounded. If you want to go for a murder ball, is pretty much what I'm doing with my calves already, with my 5 marchers of calves. Are you kidding me? We are back. That was crazy. It was failing. This verification reward is insane. Anyway, so you're already doing this murder ball, like I was mentioning, and this is something that I'm already doing with my 5 marchers. It's just there is a slight difference when I go in KVK or when I go in Ark of Osiris or Osiris League. The reason I'm saying that it's a little bit different is because when I go in KVK, I try to go a little bit cost effective as well. So all of my marchers, they have something defensive. That's exactly what infantry players do as well. They go cost effective because it's very tanky. A lot of players don't actually target infantry. They try to run away actually from infantry, or they just swarm them when there's nothing else left. Meaning that all the infantry players, until then, they manage to do a lot of severely wounded to the other marchers. It doesn't mean that they are actually working and killing marchers, but they are doing a lot of severely wounded and kills in the same time. Now you can definitely do that with only legendaries, or you can definitely do that combining with epics. There's plenty of epics that can actually serve you for that purpose. In order to actually get a murder ball going, all of your marchers need to have a skill commander leading. So this is the prime requirement, a skill commander leading. The reason I'm going with calves and the reason I'm having a semi murder ball is because they are fast. So I can always choose my targets, I can always choose my fights, I can always retreat if things are not going as well. I mean, plenty of you have probably seen a lot of field battles, or especially KVK battles, because you know Osiris League is no reason to retreat, or you're not having that there, and your troops can be healed. But this is in KVK. That's why I'm doing 5 marchers. So I just want to put it out there that this is something slightly different than going with 5 marchers of calves or going with 5 marchers of infantry. The murder ball related to only legendaries is made from 2 cavalry marchers, 2 archer marchers, and 1 infantry march. Now, the first cav march is actually an option. I personally prefer going with Genghis and Saladin to actually keep Genghis alive for a little bit longer. The other option is going with Genghis and Double C, but I've noticed many times that even if you're going Genghis with Double C, you have that heal, the rage restoration is awesome, the damage is awesome, but even if it doesn't get targeted, he just dies very fast. So I would prefer to just keep Genghis longer So the first march is Genghis with Saladin. That's for the same purpose, just skill damage, pure skill damage, primary and secondary in command. The second march on the cavalry is Minamoto primary with double C as a second in command. Not many options left on cavalry. Attila and Takeda, they are great, but they are not for a murder ball. They are good on the battlefield. They cause a lot of severely wounded. It's like having Charles and Richard for a cavalry. I've checked a lot of reports. Even when they're losing, they're still causing a ton of severely wounded, but that's pretty much about it. They are not nuking. They are not doing a lot of skill damage. So these are your two options. Now if you go with Genghis and double C, then you can put Minamoto with Saladin. Moving forward, you have one infantry. There's only one infantry. And that is Guan Yu, primary, with Alexander II. So again, this is not about making tanking marches. This is not about surviving longer in the battlefield. This is just about doing as much damage as possible on the battlefield. They are the most nuking infantry marchers that we have out there. Definitely you want Guan Yu because of his Highlands, because of his AoE, then you want Alexander because of his instant damage, and then you want him for the debuffs and also a little bit of shield. This should not be things that you should concern of, like survival on the battlefield. The only thing you should be concerned of if you want to do a murder ball is about doing as much damage as possible. Going further is going to be the archers, and like I mentioned, there's going to be two pairs of archers. On the archer marches, you have Edward leading with Tomiris as a second in command. Now this might sound really interesting for you. Why Edward and why Tomiris? It's very simple. You have only nuking marchers. You want this. You want the passive skill from Tomiris to actually stack the poison on the target. I can guarantee you that after I'm done with these 5 marchers, someone can actually do a video or someone can actually use these 5 marchers and test it out in a 5 versus 5 game. If they target the nuker, I can guarantee you that that nuker will melt in matter of seconds. The first round of skills is probably gonna get him on red. That's how powerful a proper murder ball can be. After that you have the 5th march, which obviously is again archers, because I mentioned 2 cavs, 1 infantry and 2 archers. We cannot forget about YSG. How can we forget about YSG? He's too powerful. AoE, 50% skill damage on the active skill damage. That's pretty awesome, right? That's pretty insane. So you cannot, as much as you want, you cannot. YSG primary and Artemisia as a second in command. And again, you're probably wondering, or you're probably asking, why not Ramses? Ramses has a little bit of healing. Ramses has attack and defense. You want damage. 1000 damage factor times 2 is not as the same thing as a single pop of 1800 direct damage factor. That is also boosted by YSG 50% skill damage, and every now and then boosted by her own 4 skill. So that's a pretty significant nuke that Artemisia can actually do as a second to YSG. You want to put YSG primary because you want the skill leading. You want the skill talent tree leading. And then you also have additional damage that can go every now and then. Doesn't matter that increasing the target's skill damage, it's not gonna make a difference. That target is just gonna go down in a matter of seconds. So I'm not sure if you're noticing something, but on all 5 marchers, there is a skill damaging commander leading. Because you're not caring about doing severely wounded to him, you're caring about demolishing him. This is the purpose of the murder ball. This is what I'm trying to do with my cabs as well, but there's not enough commanders right now to actually do that. And I have to include Attila and Takeda right now for that purpose. Probably and very possible I might replace them with Artemisia and YSG if they actually prove to be that worthy. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to first test it because I do plan to work on her once she comes out. So the purpose of the murder ball, like I mentioned, is just demolishing your target. 5 marches. You have Genghis and Saladin, Minamoto and Double C. You have Guan Yu with Alexander. You have YSG with Artemisia, and you have Edward with Tomiris. Skill damaging, heavy nuking commanders. And I can guarantee you that if you're actually gonna do this, you're not gonna regret it for field battles or pretty much everywhere else. You just wanna kill something really, really fast. If you wanna go defensive, you have other options. There's plenty of other options. Depending on how this video is actually gonna go, if you actually find this idea very, very interesting or very, very helpful for you, don't forget to drop a like. Depending on the likes and depending on the views on the video, I will definitely do an epic version as well. Not only epics, it's gonna be a mixture of epics with legendary. It's pretty much some of the marches I already have them on my cav marches, but there's a couple more that can be added. So if you want to make a murder ball, or like I mentioned, you don't care about going cost effective and you do have epics and a couple of legendaries, I can definitely help you for that as well. Let me know in the comment section below and let's see how this video is actually gonna go. I hope you find this helpful. This is your boy Ronnie signing off. Peace out, yo, and take care. See you on the next one.